Welcome, everyone. Welcome to another day of Be Agile Scrum. This is almost day 5. It means that we have covered 5 hours of our learning, and we are graduating towards the shifting the gears, and you are going to experience the same. And eventually, you will come across various exercises, various tasks and assignments, as I keep on saying about the said and unsaid assignments. Having said so, before I get started, let me quickly ask to you all, anyone here for the first time? Is it day 1 for any one of you? You can
Yes.
unmute. And who is this?
Hey Gaurav, this is Raksha.
Hi,
I'm
Raksha.
from
Yeah.
hi.
So,
This is
yeah,
my day 1. I'm
awesome.
from Chicago in US currently. Back in India, I was from Karnataka.
Mhm.
My background is in IT, so I was a developer, .NET developer for over 5 years. Now I have a gap of 3 years.
Mhm.
And I want to restart my career. That's the reason I have joined this class.
Awesome, Raksha. Thank you so much for just
Yeah,
sharing these all details. Before I could start, I could ask you, you
my
just hit the nail and you shared everything what exactly I was looking for: your name, your educational background, your city from where you are connecting, and your any experiential background which is related to your work. So thank you so much. Welcome to Be Agile Scrum Track and Guru Schools. Everyone, please type into chat window. Welcome, Raksha. I see that Priya has raised her hand. Priya, is it your day 1? Priya, is it your day 1? Okay, Priya, I think,
I
okay,
uh,
Sri Pas.
yes,
Sri, yes, could you please
Vasabola.
introduce?
Yeah. This is my day 1 or
Mhm,
attending the class live,
mhm,
and I'm from California.
mhm.
I'm from retail management background, but I also have a bachelor's in animation and visual effects. It's totally different from IT, but I'm interested in going into this course, and this is my first time getting into it. So.
Okay, any working experience you have?
I have working experience in retail management, but and also in did some projects in which are in VFX, but not in IT though.
All right. And how long it has been, Sri?
I'm still working in retail. That's
How
my
long it
background.
has been? How long it has been?
Oh yeah, how long? Yeah, I've been working from past 8 years.
8 years. Thank you so much, Sri, for
Yeah.
sharing that. Welcome to Guru School. Chat window. Welcome, Sri, and I will go on this day 1. Priya, could you speak now?
Hello, Gaurav. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear. Go
Hi,
ahead.
hi.
Hi.
My name is Priya, and I live in McKinney, Texas. And my background is basically I've been working in healthcare industry from last 4 years, and I've done my MBA in business administration.
Mhm.
And just wanted to, switch my career. Just wanted to grow and see what I can do in BA and Scrum.
Mhm.
That's why I joined this course.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Priya. Welcome to
Sure.
Guru School. Everyone, please type in chat window. Welcome, Priya. We have 3 new joinees today, and yesterday we had Swati. So Priya, Raksha, and Sri. Welcome to Guru Schools, and let's get started, everyone. So before we get started, let me quickly tell you, your trainers are going to be Prerna. Prerna is here, and myself. So this is a quick information for you to know. And before we get started, my favorite question to all of you, just to remind that for what reason you all are here. Do
To
you
get
all?
plays.
Awesome,
Please.
awesome, awesome.
Get
Thank you so
plays.
much. I really love this enthusiasm and memory, because exactly it has never to be forgotten. And why? Because every single day, every single time you have been working in that direction, that has to be remembered. And for that reason, we understand that it really requires a laser focus to know that why we are here. And I'm so much glad just within 4 or 5 days, many of you have earned various certifications and doing really phenomenal. I'm super happy at least the way you are working. So let me quickly remind you that, on in this journey, until you get placed, you need to be really remain laser focused. And for that very reason, we have something created, what we call it as a code of honor. What we have created, everyone?
Code of
Code
honor.
of honor.
Yeah, that is nothing but the ground rules that everyone should remember and get reminded every single day before starting the session. And I'm quickly going to tell you and ask you to get agree upon these set of code of honor. That is the ground rule and disciplines. The number one says that show up live every single time, until you are in this track, to be on time. It means that you need to be on time, remain punctual and highly committed, because Agile is full of ceremonies, and that requires you to be to follow these certain traits. So once you follow it here inside the class, there are chances you are going to replicate once you get placed. So and it is also said that how you do anything is how you do everything. That one of my mentors says. And once you practice it here as a future Scrum Master, you will be able to facilitate the same in the similar manner by following these traits. Second one says that because you have started this journey by uh, getting enrolled into the training, and training like you make student, and we don't want you to just be the student, but be the full stack student who does all the assignments, do self-research and repeat what you have learned. Okay, so that makes you full stack student. Third one says that while you are doing so, you will eventually going to attract a success. You must take the full responsibility of that. What if you don't attract? It means you attract failure. You must take the full responsibility of that as well. Why? Because you would be able to assess why you have attracted failure if you only have taken the full responsibility of it, and you would be able to correct that and include whatever the necessary area of improvement requires to be worked upon. You would correct that, and thereby you will realize that failure is just not going to remain as failure, but it will become the trail for the success. So take the full responsibility of both the things. And while doing so, it really requires champion mindset, and that comes with package of the mindset that let you be a learner, lifelong learner. And to do so, you need to be positive every single day, and that is the one of the demand of the agility. Agility is full of a mindset, intent and soft skill that let you bring from this positive mindset. And more positive you'll become, you will find yourself you are going more complaint free. You would find yourself you are getting loaded with gratitude, leads towards the happiness, is the new productivity in the industry of corporate. Having said so, the fifth one, to have or gain such mindset, you need to start your day with the high increased level of receptivity. And for that very reason, I ask you to join 30 days of audio program. That is 30 days challenge of 40 minutes of audio program that you can finish within 20 minutes by putting it into 2x mode, plugging into ear while you are doing exercise, walking or running. And every single day you are listening to it for next 30 days. And you will find the impact on every and each area of your life, and every activity in your life. It's going to get impacted positively and bring more result positively that you are going to experience, provided you join in this audio program. This is free, and for that you need to simply ping me, and I'll share you the audio program. But only remember that if you are going to skip even a day, the next day you will have to start from the scratch. That is only thing you need to take care of. And second, before we take a deep dive into deep learning, you need to remember we need to follow golden quadrant of learning. What does it mean? It means before you get into any deep learning, you need to declare that with the anchor, and then draw it within 24 hours using piece of pen and paper, and then summarize it into 90 seconds of video. Let me quickly ask you, if you are going to summarize it, okay, in a 90 seconds of video, and the purpose behind is that um, we have to float it on YouTube channel where almost everyone is witnessing you. Those are recruiters, and they may pick you for the next round of interview once you are done with your profile optimization by application. Let me ask you this question. What if I speak like this and there is no soul in my any word? Are you going to really enjoy and understand the class?
No.
No?
No,
No,
typically
no.
that 90 seconds will develop your.
Oh my God, you won't.
Scared me.
So, yes.
The
So
way you talk, you scared me.
yeah, I don't want you to send me summary like this. Okay.
No.
So at least put some soul in that and send those summaries so that we can listen to that and we can really feel like more watching more of your summary. Okay, so put such life into your summary as just for 90 seconds. I would request you to kindly continue to send 90-second summary with life, okay, and would appreciate that. And based on those summary, you are going to get judged on the various parameter that you are not even aware of. So before we get into deep learning, let's get started with the declaration with the anchor. And what is the anchor? Anchor is nothing, but it is going to be a self high-five or a clap. At the count of 3, after me, you are going to repeat the statement which is selected over here that I hope you can see on the screen. Do you all see?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
awesome. So at the count of 3, you are going to repeat after me with the clap. 1, 2, 3, and clap and repeat. I'm a quick learner.
I'm
learner.
a quick
I'm
learner.
a quick learner.
Others can learn and
Others
master.
can
I can
learn
do
and
that.
master.
What others can learn and master.
I too can do that.
can do
I
that.
too can do that.
Can do that.
Okay, one more time. Just wait a moment. One more time. At the count of 3, you are going to again put the anchor. That is going to be self clap or high five, and repeat
Awesome.
this selected statement only after me. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, so you are going to repeat after me at the count of 3. 1, 2, 3, and clap and repeat. Because I'm an awesome
Because I
learner,
am awesome
Because
learner.
I'm
I'm an awesome learner.
this learning is
super
going to
duper
be
This
easy.
learning is going to
Today's
be
learning is going to be
super duper easy to me.
super duper easy to me.
Easy to me.
Thank you so much, everyone, for participating. And yes, this is going to be because just now you declared that too with the anchor. However, I know and I understand that many of you are here in this learning with the vast year of experience, that is 5 years, 6 years, 8 years, 13 years, 17 years, and 26 years. And it is not so easy after so much of experience. When you are going to get started the relearning journey, that is going to be easy. And for that very reason, you need to become a giver. At least keep the giver who gives the ego away on the path of learning, so that you will find yourself more spiritually grounded, means your happiness level increases on the path of growth. And you will find I'll have to put someone of you on mute because I'm finding more echo. So if you could go on mute, that will be great. Okay, thank you so much. So yeah, so keep your ego away on the path of learning so that you will open to more learning, and that keeps you more spiritually grounded, means your happiness level will be increased. As I just now said, that happiness is today's productivity, and that's the reason you need to find more productive once you get placed. And for that very reason, keep becoming learner. And for that, just keep ego away, that you know everything, because by keeping this attitude away, you will embrace more deep learning. And I want you all to participate in the deep learning. And while you are learning and you get placed, trust me, you are going to start earning in case you are not earning today. And if you're going to earn, I want you all to encourage to earn more. And for that reason, it is said that what you give, you gain more of that. And when you gain more of that, there are chances you will inspire more people in your surrounding. So can you all have the intent of doing the charity at least for of 5% or 10% of your earning, give away to the causes where you believe in, could be the temples, churches, and mosque, or to feed hungry children, or to orphanages, or donate in old age home, wherever you believe in. And trust me, once you give, you will find that you are growing, and once you receive, you may survive. And I'm sure here you are not only for the survival but to grow. And don't just give away to grow, but also to inspire others in your surrounding. And while you are doing so, appreciate what you are doing, what others are doing for you, and even what does not happen to you, remember what you appreciate appreciates you back. So remember these 6 ground rules. So is it clear to everyone? 6 ground rules, code of honor?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And let
Yes,
me
sir.
quickly
Yes.
give you heads up that so far we had been meeting Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Okay. On technical session 9:30 p.m. EST we were doing, and also on Tuesday we found that we were attending a RFP session. Few of you touched me. Few of you, I mean, they reached to me and they said that because this sometime it gets overlap and you find that it is really eating a lot of time. So what we have decided to do, that we will be having 2 technical session, 1 RRP session. We will let you do assignment on Wednesday and Friday, let you do Thursday 1 more time RRP session, and Saturday going to be a relaxing time for you. So this is what we are going to operate on from next week. Hope this is clear to you all. Is it clear to you all how we are going to get connected? Instead
sir.
of 3
Yes.
technical session, we will have 2 technical session, so that you will have sufficient time to do more activity, to get more engaged in your activities and produce more result. What exactly is the motto behind this session? Any doubt around it? If not, Radhika, I see you have raised your hand. Or if you have any question, you can unmute and you can ask before we get started into deep learning. Radhika. So you can speak up, unmute yourself and speak up if you want to. Okay. So I think the hand was raised by mistake. Then you can lower your hand. So let me quickly get started with the deep learning. So let me share my screen. So yesterday we have understood the benefits of Agile. And trust me, whoever have joined today, this is going to be your day 1. And you understand quickly by learning everything as a fresh. However, before we get started, I have one quick question. Can all of you tell me, what did you learn yesterday? What do you remember from yesterday's learning?
Scrum
We learned about the
process.
Scrum values and the benefits of Scrum.
Benefits of Scrum, benefits of Agile.
Benefits of
Benefits of Scrum and benefits of Agile.
Got it. Got it. So you are saying that you learned benefits of Scrum and Scrum values as well. So thank you so much for the quick summary. Yes, you did learn Scrum values and benefits of Scrum. We are going to get started further. And today we are going to learn what we are going to learn about Scrum role. So before we start learning about the Scrum role, I have a quick question. What is Scrum? Who can quickly raise your hand and tell me what is Scrum?
I can do.
Yeah, please tell me.
Scrum is a framework where you develop the software into pieces and not as a whole at once.
Okay, thank you so much for this definition. Yeah, Ramani, what do you want to say about Scrum?
Scrum is a management framework to self-organize and work towards a common goal.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Ramani. Ankita, what do you have to say?
Sorry, I was on mute. So Scrum is basically one of the frameworks in the agile methodologies. It uses sprints mainly to deliver the client requirements. That's the main thing that's in Scrum. It's very iterative, and it definitely like really follows the incremental delivery, which is one of the important things.
Thank you so much, Ankita, for sharing that. Let's go to the second last sharing. Aarti, what do you want to say?
Scrum is a framework to apply agile methodology.
Agile methodology. Thank you so much, Aarti. Kanika, the last sharing, what do you want to say?
Scrum is a specific set of rule that is used for agile and which is cost effective and transparent, and it is easy to make changes.
Yeah, thank you so much, Kanika, and thank you so much everyone who have shared. So I'm not going to take everyone. So Varsha and Jaya, we would let you answer some different questions. So thank you so much for raising your hand. So do you all see that by listening to all of these sharing, we still cover the wide aspect of Scrum? Did you all see that everyone incorporated differently, and they said that Scrum is a framework, is a part of agile methodology. It helps towards the iterative delivery, frequent delivery, and it let you deliver a large piece of software in an incremental manner, and it help you to deliver the software in a piece by piece form by following certain rules, certain values. So this is what was the summary of the Scrum for letting you know. So is it all clear? Everyone understands Scrum is a part of agile methodology and is a framework.
Yes.
Is it? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes.
awesome. So let's get started and understand in the Scrum, if it has the value of like delivering the working software. We value the courage, we value the support, and let's understand in Scrum what all the things are there, like role, event, and how do you plan it, and how it becomes the part of support. So Aarti, do you have to say something? Aarti, you can unmute and speak up if you want to say something.
No, sorry. It was
Okay,
just
no problem.
I raised hand before. Yeah.
Okay, no problem. So we'll remember. So let's understand that in Scrum role, what all the roles are there. So if you are coming together as a part of Scrum team, okay. So Scrum team, can you see here the one arrow that is indicating inside the Scrum team? Can you see this? And it says that Scrum team means it's a product owner, it's a Scrum master, and it's a development team. So generally when we speak development team, it is generally taken as development team means coder who codes. But let me quickly tell you, development team is just not coder. This term is for entire development team who supports in the development of a software as a team. Those are testers, developers, those are coders, business analyst, architect, every single person who moves a software from to do to in progress to done. Okay, these people who contributed in these states of the piece of software, those are the people who are known as development team under Scrum team. Is it clear to you all?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Development team is not just coder. It consists of a developer, it consists of coder, tester, and business analyst.
Designer.
Yeah, business analyst,
Cross-functional team.
cross-functional team. Exactly. So, and Scrum Master will always be there as a part of Scrum team, and he is the person or she is the person also known as a very dignified role, okay? Very dignified and very respected role, because he facilitates everything from scratch till the end in the software development under Agile. And that's the reason, because of his kind of service of facilitation, he is regarded and rewarded as a servant leader.
Servant leader.
As a what, everyone?
Servant leader.
Servant leader. So this is a very prestigious designation for him. And let's understand product owner. He manages the product backlog. He optimizes the product backlog, and he optimizes the value of the product backlog of the product. It means that he is aware of the entire requirement. Okay, he breaks down the entire requirement in the pieces in a way that he understands what exactly customer wants immediately. It means he understands the value, what exactly immediately can be delivered, and that is put inside the backlog item. Every single requirement first has to be part of and becomes automatically the part of product backlog. Yeah. So so every requirement initially before before we start working onto that becomes the part of product backlog. That becomes the part of what, everyone?
Product
Product
backlog.
Exactly.
Product backlog.
So remember, product backlog is a piece, is a set of, requirement, small requirement. Scrum Master manages the Scrum process, removes impediment. Impediment means any bottleneck or any problems. His focus is that my team should continue to work. Any single problem, any kind of technical, physical, emotional, I mean, any kind of problem, he ensures that he needs to remove that. Okay, that should not bother his team. So Scrum Master also ensures that everyone is following the Scrum process. And development team together manages itself. It does not require any superior or senior. So they are called as self-managed team, and they create done increments. Means they continue to deliver or help to increment the software towards the done. So let's understand and look at the various roles in detail. However, any question around these people?
Sir, I do
had a
have a
question.
question.
Yeah, please go ahead and ask.
So I was asking Gaurav, like, where does the project manager fits into this entire picture?
Okay, wonderful question, Ankita. So let me quickly tell you, project manager is an entity. Okay, in agile world, you will not follow any project manager, and you should not. But there are chances that in some of the company where agile has not been fully adopted. Okay, so they still are talking about agile, few part of agile, few part of processes of the agile, but it is not completely agile. There you will find project manager. The projects which are completely owned by agile team, agile processes, and Scrum value, there you will find also Scrum Master. There you will see only product owner. There you won't find project manager. Is it clear to you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
So Raksha, you have.
Sir, I have a question as well.
Yeah, go ahead.
So these three product owners, Scrum Master, and development team is this hierarchical role?
No, it is not hierarchical role. These are the people come together with one vision, one focus, and one goal, and start working in one direction, keeping the mind the complete goal towards the project delivery. Who was asking this question?
It's me, Ankita.
Yeah, Ankita. Okay.
So,
anything else around? Yeah.
So BA works with the Scrum Master and the product owner as well as the development team, all three of them.
Yes, BA works with everyone. Okay. So yeah, you will find that working with Scrum Master, product owner, and
so the role is mainly like liaising between all these three, right?
Yes, he liaises with everyone, all those three. He liaises with everyone. Yeah.
Got it. Thank you.
Welcome. So yes, Raksha, I see your hand is up. You can ask.
Yeah, so what exactly, I mean, do the Scrum Master and the product owner, both of them communicate with the customers and get the requirements, or is it the
question.
Who does that?
That's an interesting question. Let me quickly tell you. More or less, a Scrum Master does not directly communicate with customer. More or less, you will find as a product owner and business analyst, though these are the people who come together, collaborate together, and they are in communication with the with customer. However, Scrum Master, his role is that more or less make sure that everyone in the team follows the Scrum rules, follows the Scrum guidelines, follow the Agile methodology completely. Okay, so that is his objective. Why? Because it has to be delivered on time. Anything under the Agile has to be go into the incremental delivery mode, and that he ensures by being in touch with everyone. If sometime means situation demands, if he needs to get in touch with the in communication with customer, he always mark a copy with product owner, because it has to be under consent of the with the consent of product owner. So is it clear? Generally, it does not happen, but in case in some extreme situation, if he has to know and make sure that Agile is being followed with the help of a customer as well, he comes into the picture, and he may ask that these are the few backlogs, and if a customer has access to the backlog, from their end some feedback is missing and customer is not responding, he may simply shoot out one email and say that, okay, or in meeting, he may simply say that, okay, so these are the backlog, you needed to move or approve or something like that, so that we continue to follow into the Agile process. So such communication happens, but not at the deeper level and regular level. Is it clear to you, Raksha?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Let's move to Srilata. What was your question, Srilata?
Hi, Gaurav. Actually, my question is, do we get any situations like product owner will fulfill the responsibilities, like including Scrum as a Scrum Master and everything, that thing?
That's an interesting question, Srilata. Okay, let me quickly
Gaurav,
tell you. You want to answer? Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll just start, then you can definitely continue. So Srilata, I can understand your viewpoint, but to be honest, in a project, generally we have the best way to put into clarity of rules. Okay. To answer your question, as a Srilata, you might be a Scrum Master in one of the projects. Then down the line, maybe after 1-2 years, or maybe as you grow, you can become a project owner in some other projects. Okay. But in same project, we will not have one person acting as a two, because their responsibilities, their work, their accountability is quite different. Like Scrum Master is the person who has to be closely connected with the team, on day-to-day basis, arrange meetings, arrange events, and he or she has a lot on his plate. Okay, they are really tied up. Whereas product owner, on the other hand, is so much busy with all the stakeholders, meetings, and presentations to senior management, and managing the product backlog, which is one of the key responsibilities. So if you ask me, practically speaking, it's not even I would say logical to have one person do the role. So theoretically, you might feel, okay, one person can manage, but in an organization, for clarity of rules, it's generally not done. The same person, as you grow in your career, you can act as a Scrum Master and later as a product owner as per your seniority and experience, but not in one project. Over to you, Gaurav. Just wanted to add this. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Srilata, hope you have got the answer now. Yeah.
Yes, Gaurav.
Okay,
Yes, Gaurav.
thank you. So
Thank you.
I'll continue to move further. So yeah, let's see at some roles at more deeper level. We will demystify who is who. You can see this is a product owner. We will come to know about his responsibility. This is the Scrum Master, and this is your development team, coder, tester, and business analyst together. We will look at them at deeper level. We will look at this gray person in a while. Okay, so I want someone of you to become the volunteer and read out first bullet on inside product owner. Who can read
I
that?
can go.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Conveys the vision of the stakeholders to the team. Can alter the scope. Responsible for the return on investment. That is why they occupy an authoritative position in the firm.
Thank you so much. So yeah, so product owner's role, you are understanding here that vision has to be very, very much clear. Okay, from where he occupies the vision and clarity about the vision, and for whom? Of course, from the stakeholder, that is from client. and for the entire team. And when vision is received to product owner, it comes with the scope. Scope means what? Who can answer that?
Objective.
Okay.
Requirement of the
It's a
project.
task.
Okay.
Like scope is why we are doing that project.
Okay.
The work that needs to be carried and only the work that needs to be carried out.
Exactly. And how would you be ensuring that only the work is to be carried out, and what if the customer, or what if the vendor, or what if the developer also includes something which is not to be carried? So how would you ensure that?
Scope creep.
Okay, scope creep.
Requirements document.
Yeah, requirement document. So let me quickly tell you that what exactly scope comes with. Scope means what to be included and what to be excluded and what not to include it. So what you are including, also you are declaring what you are not going to include. Is it clear?
Yeah.
So inclusion and exclusions are very much clear. Okay, and there you define in the requirement document. So everyone was around means right around the scope. So, but in a layman term, you have to understand the requirement which has to be inside the inclusion, and something is to be excluded should be very much clear and self-explanatory in the requirement document itself. And someone read this, that responsible for the return on investment. That is why they occupy an authoritative position in the firm. Ultimately, what is happening, the kind of work you are doing should return something when it comes towards the profit or towards the time, energy, and budget what you have. It should fulfill your requirement as well. It should not that customer may ask you anything. And very nicely said generally by Prerna, that your customer can ask for stars and moon. So you are not going to deliver, where to draw the fine line. Okay. And why? Because based on the agreement, you need to gain the value of exchange has to be there. Okay. So if you are delivering something, in return what you are gaining, you are exactly delivering against that value. Okay. And there the value of exchange gets to me. The fourth bullet point says that not only with the team, but also communicates with the stakeholders about progress. Okay. So product owner is the person who just not means talk to their team, but also is always in touch, with the entire team member and the stakeholder. So with the product owner, you can expect that any kind of changes or any kind of problem and the progress has to be discussed has to be discussed with the team. And also it is so much transparent that customer is knowing, means whatever the communication from customer is going has to be delivered inside the team. So this is kind of a job with product owner as well. So is it clear how deeper level product owner is working with the team and with this customer as well? Is it clear to you all?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yes.
let's understand about Scrum Master now. So I want someone to read the first bullet. Who can read
Oh,
that? Okay, go ahead, Aruna.
Yeah,
And
thank
then
you.
Soma.
Removes all impediment and hindrance to achieve goals.
Exactly. Thank you so much. So Scrum Master, I keep on talking about that, is the person, and your future Scrum Master, your objective should be like for the team members, you are able to remove and address all the problems, all the hindrance you are able to remove, impediment, because to the goal. Thank you so much for reading this out. Soma, could you please read the second bullet?
enforce to organize Scrum ceremonies and processes.
Thank you so much. Yes. So what may happen, because so much you are focused, the entire team is focused towards the completion of the goal, they will follow, they will forget to follow, they may forget to follow to incorporate some ceremonies and processes of the Scrum. Why do we need to follow these processes and ceremony? Because that enforces the improvement of the delivery and inclusion of the learning and inclusion of the quality by following the Scrum processes. And who is on the toes always? It is Scrum Master who pushes you towards the following these all things, because he has been the critical part of agile, agility, and Scrum as well. And that's the reason he's called as a Scrum Master. I want to invite some other volunteer who has not yet spoken to read the third bullet. Who can read that, please?
Can I do?
I can go.
Rekha, please go ahead.
Scrum Master, third point, to commit to the goals and deadlines on behalf of the team.
Yes, thank you so much. So always remember, and you can lower your hand. Do you have also any question, Rekha? Okay, no. So thank you so much.
No, thank you.
Okay, all right. So Scrum Master is the person, his goal is just not towards the quality or following the Scrum processes, but also to commit to goals, and deadline has to be met on behalf of the team. So in case you are falling back, he will come and shake your shoulder and say, hey, why you're falling behind? Do you need any help? So he is always on toes, checking with you all that everything is smooth and you are following all the processes. And in case you need help, as we call it, call him servant leader. Sometimes he goes out of the way. I had watched a movie. I'm not sure whether you can find it. The Scrum Master was serving in a way that, bringing coffee and cleaning the desk and all. The entire team's work has to be met. Okay, the goal has to be met. So he is so much engrossed towards meeting the deadline, and he is so much, concerned about meeting the deadline. He sometimes goes out of the way to help you, to support you in a way that your work goes smoother and you do your own work with full responsibility. Do you understand the depth, the kind of a depth a Scrum Master brings in towards the completion or towards meeting deadline?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yes, yes.
So I want someone to read first two bullets. So who can read that?
Can I
I
read?
can read.
Okay. Okay. So I really appreciate. So Swati has raised the hand. So I appreciate first people raising hand. So yeah, Swati, you can unmute and you can read this.
Yes, the Scrum team. And the first bullet is does all that lead them towards their sprint goal. The second bullet is they work with the Scrum Master to prioritize the items from the product backlog in the sprint planning.
Thank you so much for reading this out. So a Scrum team, now, Scrum team consists of, all these people, together. So, and these three people where it is, so they are also known as development team. So more or less it is being focused over here. So it says that Scrum team is responsible to lead all the, entire sprint goal towards the completion. Okay. And excuse me, give me a second. Yeah. So this Scrum team works with the Scrum Master, and their objective is to continue to prioritize the work, the backlog item. You remember initially I was talking about all the requirement before getting started become the part of product backlog. And when a few of them are pulled in a priority to discuss, that time when it is first get to come to this to be discussed, they come inside sprint planning meeting. So initially product backlog item are gauged and prioritized by product owner, and later when it is brought in front of team, that is brought inside sprint planning team to start discussing, start getting this discussion upon few chosen backlog item. And that is the time when it is being discussed inside the sprint planning meeting. It is called as sprint backlog item. This is called as what, everyone?
Sprint backlog item.
Yeah, sprint backlog.
backlog.
Yeah. And in what meeting it is brought, and then it is called as sprint backlog? In what meeting it is
Sprint
brought?
planning. Sprint
Sprint
planning.
planning. That's right. And we are going to learn more at the deeper level about this meeting. However, now I want one of you to read the third bullet point in Scrum team.
I can.
I can
Yeah,
do it.
go ahead,
No.
Anisha.
Not Scrum.
Okay, so before you read, Anisha, so just a
Yes.
moment, someone has some question?
Yeah, this is Jyoti and I have a question. So who wrote the Scrum backlog?
Okay.
Sorry, sprint backlog. I'm so sorry.
Okay, so understand, product backlog initially comes into the picture. Product backlogs are written by product owner, okay? And he knows the priority, what has to be delivered first, okay? So he pulls the few topmost priority which can be consumed within the sprint, okay? Sprint, do you know the time duration? In some time interval, customer is waiting for you to deliver to him something so that he can start working. So you know that first you decide that sprint should be how long. Sprint could be of 5 days, 10 days. I mean to say, when you're talking about 5 working days or 10 working days, means 1 week or 2 weeks. Okay, the moderate time duration of a sprint is 2 weeks. However, it can be as lesser than as 1 day, and as maximum or as bigger than as 4 weeks, that is 1 month. Is it clear about the sprint duration? Now coming back to your sprint backlog, because now product owner is aware that in this sprint time we can only deliver 3 or 4 product backlog. What he will do, he will pull all those 4 product backlog of the highest priority in the sprint planning meeting and start discussing. So who pulls that prioritized or high priority of product backlog in the sprint planning meeting?
Product owner.
Product owner.
Product. Yeah. So is your question answered, Jyoti?
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you. So who was reading this third bullet point?
I was reading it.
Okay, Anisha, go ahead.
I too have.
Not Scrum.
Okay, yeah.
Not Scrum Master organizes them. It is self-organized.
Yeah.
Need to attend every stand-ups and other ceremonies.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah. So not Scrum Master organizes them, it is self-organized. So it is not that, see, understand, the Scrum team is a team that requires the self-organizing. I mean, you are taking the ownership, you are taking the responsibility, you are taking your own accountability, and that's how the show is being run. It's not that Scrum Master has to be behind you. He will only be behind you just to check whether you are facing any issue. And yes, the entire Scrum team has to be the part of every single meeting, and that's the reason it says that stand-up and other ceremonies. Stand-up is also ceremonies, and other meetings are also ceremonies. Because meetings are called as ceremonies, remember to celebrate them. Is it clear to you all? Yeah. Let it not happen in a boring way. So Yakshi, did you have any question? Sorry, Yakshi, you have any question?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
My question is, like, if there are like 2 or 3 stakeholders, and one needs to give the requirement on priority and the another doesn't want that. So how the priority would be decided then?
What do you mean by stakeholder over here?
The customer, like, I'm just
So you are telling that for me, say for example, I'm a company, any name, say for example, TCS. And with me, there are 3 customers, you mean to say?
Yes.
Yeah. And these 3 customers are giving me 3 different requirement. Is that so?
Yeah, but like one needs at earliest, and another says, I don't want this to be done at this point of time.
Okay.
So how the priority of that requirement is decided?
Okay, awesome. So understand, if I am a company, do I have only one team working for one project, or will I have the several team for working for several projects?
Several projects.
Yeah. So if I'll have several team for several projects, can I dedicate one team for one project, and one team for one project means one team for one customer? Can I do that as a company?
Yes.
So if I am able to do that, do you think I am still catering each of the customer and their demand because I have the big team or several team?
Yes.
Yakshi, you with me?
Yes.
This is your
Yes.
question. So
If there is only the one team, not several team, then
if it is only one team and not the several team,
Yeah.
so I'll have to expand my team. Yeah, I cannot get continue to get bleed. See, understand things. You want to earn money, Yakshi, okay? And you want to say that I will keep only one team with me, so that first he will address customer one, we will have the sufficient time, then I'll move to customer two. This is not how the work will happen. Okay, you will have to expand, because ultimately you are here for the money, right? You're trying to save your money because you want to earn more, but you have to serve more as well. You have to cater to people. Do you think that if you will have this approach of serving your first customer, then going to the second, and still you are facing the pressure, would you do justification with the quality? No, of course not. You will lose on the quality. And for that very reason, if you are getting money and asking for money sometime advance, because you're doing a business, you will have to expand your team. You will have to bring more team so that you can cater more customer. Is it making some sense to you, Yakshi?
yes, but like I want to know, like if you and me are some like stakeholders, I want this requirement to be prioritized, and you don't want that, then how this
And who am I? Am I customer?
yeah, you can take as a customer, or like we are on the same team. Then I just want to know like how we can prioritize the requirements, like this is the highest priority or this is the not.
No, so I'll have to understand your question again. So you are saying that I'm your customer, right?
Yes.
And
Me and you are customer, or me and you are in the same team, like you want this product.
So you mean to say we are two different customer or only one customer?
We are two different.
Gaurav, can I interrupt for a minute? I think I understand her.
Yeah. Tell me, Ramani.
What Yakshi means to say is that there is a conflict between the two stakeholders about prioritizing an requirement.
Yes.
And then
On the same
how
project.
conflict will be on the same project, and in
On
the
the same
prioritized list, there is a conflict that one person says that he needs his item to be priority one, and the other stakeholder says he needs it to be on the second place or third place, and his item to be prioritized.
Okay,
So
I got you.
how do we solve this conflict?
Awesome question. Awesome question, Ramani, and thank you so much for
Thank you.
briefing on behalf of Yakshi for me. Okay, so again, correct me. Say if I am going into in very logical mode now, understand some bank comes to me, okay? And Yakshi says that for me, first customer is important. I want my entire customer to be one place, to be added in my banking system. And later, someone says, say, for example, Ramani is there. Ramani says, for me, I don't care that which customer is coming, which customer is not. For me, for every customer, whether fund transfer is working or not, that is my utmost priority, because based on that, the loan things will come. I'm from loan department. For me, loan should work. And for that, I want this fund transfer to be worked at the topmost priority, because customer has to transfer some money and all. So now there is a conflict. Someone is telling, I want first customer to be added and open the accounts. And someone says that, okay, that will anyway eventually happen. With the existing customer, I want the fund transfer to be enabled in the banking system. Now there is a fight. Did I understand it well, Yakshi?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Now the business analyst and product owner come together and they say that, I totally understand your concern, Yakshi. I totally understand your concern, Ramani. But when I look at it from the development point of view, I see that the utmost priority, this module is on the highest priority. That is, first you need to add new customer. Say, for example, existing customer may take a step back and he does not want to continue. Still, you should have a new customer into the pipeline. You should be able to add him and then provide them the loan. And before loan module come into the picture, fund transfer had to be there. So what I am advising you, you go ahead with the new customer addition and then adopt for the fund transfer and then go towards the complete loan procedure. So here, product owner and business owner coming together and they are advising that I am pitching you that this has to be priority. And generally in the live scenario, it has been seen their input and their opinion is heard. So this is how you handle and, you know, pitch in front of such two people. Okay. However, this is one scenario. In some scenario, what happens? They settle their argument inside before they come in front of vendor, because they don't want to appear, they don't want to look as you know, different in the opinion. So this is how it happens. Even though they come with the differences, as a business product owner and business analyst, they give them solution based on their opinion. And in case they are smart enough, they generally you know, cool down their own you know, argument inside before coming in front of the vendor. Is it clear, Yakshi?
Yeah, yes.
Did you get the
Yes.
scenario well? Yeah. So
Yeah,
who
thank
can read this third bullet point? I want someone to read the third bullet point. And for
Gaurav,
yeah.
sorry, I
Okay.
have a question. I was raising my hand. So I have two questions. First one is that this would mean that the product backlog items, they can have the items from two different projects, if I'm understanding
No.
this right.
So see, the question which came, that was for one project only. It was not from two different projects. For two different projects, there will be two different teams for them. The entire set will be different. Okay. So not one team is working for one not one team is working for two projects.
Okay,
Two projects.
got it. And then there's
Yeah.
sorry, and then the
Ankita,
second question that I had was that we're talking that the Scrum Master is the one who's removing the hindrances. So what do we exactly mean by hindrances here?
Okay, hindrance could be anything. Understanding is not clear between two requirements. Okay, customer is not approachable, business analyst is not giving the clarity, or say it could be as easy as it could be from outside and as complex as it could be could appear from inside. Say for example, requirement is not clear, or you know, business
Resources
analyst,
are not there.
yeah, resources are not
Okay.
there, business analyst gave the time. So there are multiple impediments you can think of, you can have the list. Okay, clear?
So what's the role of BA then in all these cases?
Yeah, that was my question actually.
Okay. So what I want, just give me a moment. Prerna, meanwhile, could you please answer this question? I'm just
Yes. Yeah. Can you please repeat the question?
Yeah, in these all things, like what's the role of BA then? Like if the Scrum Master is removing all impedance and hindrance, or the team is discussing with the product owner, then what's the role of business analyst in all these meetings? He's just making the requirements, or what he's...
Okay. So to answer your question, a business analyst is like a bridge which connects all the majority of the stakeholders. I'll just request others to go on mute. Swati, there is a noise coming from your end. So everybody who is not speaking, I'll request you to go on mute because that will give a clarity of sound. Okay. So to answer your question, what happens? Everybody
I'm
now
back.
in the that's fine. I'll just continue. Every role has its own responsibilities, right? You know, when we discussed earlier, or now Gaurav is explaining all of you the roles. So in that, BA is working in the project end to end. When I say end to end, means he or she communicates with the customer. He or she, or along with their one or two team members or seniors, discusses all the details, like what are the requirements, what is the scope. He or she will prepare the BRD. He or she will ensure that everybody who is in the hierarchy, like even our team members, clients, they approve that BRD. And once that BRD is approved and prepared, then he or she is the person, or BA is the person who will take that BRD and share that with development team. Now, as per your question, what is the role? The role of BA is whatever the customer says in layman English, he has to, or he or she has to convert that in a decent, understandable wording in a BRD, wherein that can be understood by even a technical or non-technical person. So, in the coming sessions, we'll teach you all the workflows, how the BRD is prepared. So that is one of the top responsibility or important responsibility. Along with that, whenever there are some scope creep or whenever there is some understanding issue between development team or within our team, then he or she is the person who generally goes back to the customer along with that particular team member. See, development team is focusing on their work like developing, testing, analyzing, creating architecture. So they are not the one who will go to customer or everyone at the same time. BA is the person who is running around from here and there because they understand the requirement, they know the scope, they know the clients very well. So you get my point? He or she is the person who connects all the different dots. Like they'll set up the meeting, they'll talk to the customer. Then if a customer has some, out of the scope requirement, then they'll come back with that and talk to development team, Scrum Master, even if required, raise to product owner along with Scrum Master. So all these things, we need a dedicated person or two to do that, okay? And the best part is, because you are involved in almost all the activities, you have a very good view and understanding of the project. So along with dedicated activities of preparing documentation, setting, being in the team, in the discussion, connecting the dots, BA plays a very important role. And that is why we have incorporated this role in Guru Schools, because it's a super high demand role in industry. Have I answered your question correctly, or you need more further explanation?
No, I got my answer. Thank you.
Yeah.
So yeah. So
Prerna, I'm sorry, just one question from that discussion. So at one point of time, one BA are they working on multiple projects, or they'll be only working on one particular project then?
In Agile setup, it's always dedicated because Agile is very
Okay.
high in demand. So it's always dedicated. In waterfall or other methodology, you can share a resource, but that is also on a ratio basis. Like, for example, if you're not working in Agile, if the projects are little slow paced, not too demanding, then their bandwidth, like how we used to do it, is like out of 5 days or out of, per se, 40 hours in a week, 20 hours they might, or 10 hours they might work in a project where they need little intervention. Other projects they would work for 30 hours. But in Agile, no, because Agile is very demanding. It's very quick. We barely have 2 to 3 weeks. So in Agile, we generally don't share resources, at least unless they're a third party. Yeah, thank you.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, Gaurav, over to you.
thank you for your question, guys. I would appreciate that you hold it till the end and you can write it down, because otherwise we will miss on the content. So yes, so as we
Gaurav,
have
sir,
yes,
can I ask
Hiteshi.
a question?
Yes.
Sir, about these impediments, you gave 2 examples. Requirements are not clear, resources are not there. While at the time of testing and while at the time of deployment, what impediments a team can face?
Okay, that's a good question. So at the time of deployment, you mean to say, yeah?
Yes, and at the time of testing also.
Okay, so during the testing, there are multiple things that testers locks a defect or bug, something is not working, and he puts in the least priority because he does not understand exactly the right priority. And customer as a scrum master, he has to be on toes, and he sees that the moment log defect or log bug has gone in the lowest priority, however it has to be demanded high, he immediately pitch into the between. He himself can go ahead and he can or she can increase the priority. So this is his one proactive deed that showcase that how easily he was able to remove this impediment. If he would not have done that, there are chances this requirement may have gone in a different sprint if it would have been deferred. So this is one of the example. Second, during the deployment, what happens sometime, deployment is taking time. Sometimes technical challenges are appearing. Customer is waiting. Okay. He has to always in the communication with product owner, giving him the status that how far they have come when it comes to deployment, and if it has to be deployed or shipped towards the customer location, he conveys this communication to be floated to the customer by any means. If product owner is sometime not available there, he himself takes the responsibility, and he comes forward and he communicates this thing towards the customer. So there are multiple kind of things. Say for example, in deployment, when I say that technical challenges, it may break down completely. Okay. And sometimes for the solution, the DevOps team is not there, who is deployment team is not there. So you, in the live scenario, anything may happen. Resources is not available, or your environment is not working. Suddenly environment collapses, or and it could happen due to some technical error, some code error, or some small slash into the code can break down entire environment as well. So there could be n number of possible problem that you can't even depict until you become in the live scenario. The reason could be anything, but problem you can definitely foresee by sitting here. Is it clear to you, Hiteshi? There are few
Yes,
examples
sir.
of the problem.
Sir, just the server issues, they come in testing or in the deployments?
It can come at any point of time. After deployment, during the deployment, before the deployment, during the testing as well, Hiteshi.
Okay, the second question is, you said projects. You gave two examples. One is the adding new customer, another one is the loan one. So these two are the different project, or we are saying that different epics are, or sorry, different user stories are the projects?
These are different user story, different modules in one project.
So we
In the
are
same project.
saying that user stories are the projects. Different user stories are the projects,
No,
right?
Hiteshi, understand,
No,
there is a large
different
project.
Technologies.
Okay, there is a large project, and large project will have the multiple modules. And if you are treating one module as a project, that's okay. Okay, because it is taking sometime 2 months. Okay, so 2 months longer treated project. It means that inside one project there are bigger projects. Okay, and further, that bigger project means biggest project you converted into two bigger projects. Inside those two bigger projects, one bigger project, again you are breaking down into user story. If you want to consider one small user story as a project, consider that. I don't have any problem. But ultimately the thing is that user story is the sliced or thinnest requirement of a bigger requirement. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any question around it? Can we proceed further, everyone? Yeah, thank you so much. Okay, so understand Scrum team has to participate in all the ceremonies. Okay, and when I'm talking about ceremonies, it means all the meetings. So in every meeting, whatever the discussion happen, whatever the problem occurs, Scrum Master generally try that all the problems or the questions are addressed. Okay, like I'm addressing all the question for you. So this is how the Scrum team works. So Scrum team responsibility clear to everyone, Scrum team, product owner, and Scrum Master. Here we have touch base. Is it clear to all?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So let's
Yes.
move somewhere. And Prerna, could you please take?
Yes, sure. One of my favorite topics. Yeah. So after learning the important roles like Scrum Master, development team, and product owner, we come to stakeholders. And I always wonder, we did not get much questions on that, because generally it's one of the top questions wherein all the candidates would ask us, what do you mean by stakeholders, or who are the stakeholders, or who are these actually people whom we talk about? Because you often have heard this word from our mouth in every session. So just to give you a basic understanding, stakeholders are people or communities who has a stake, or in short, who has an interest in your project. Okay. So who are these people in detail? Let's learn that. I want someone to just go. I mean, there are 5 points. So I really wish I would request 5 different people to read each point, and those people are generally the ones who do not who haven't spoken at. So, different set of people who have not yet read any points, I'll encourage, because we have a lot of people today. Yeah.
Okay,
Go
let
ahead.
me take the
Okay.
first point. The stakeholder
Go ahead. You don't
has
need to ask or take permission. Just go read one point and then someone else would read another point. Yeah.
Okay, the stakeholder has to keep a healthy relationship with the product owner in order to share every detail regarding his project.
Okay, let me clarify this, then we'll go to next point. So the stakeholder has to keep a healthy relationship with the product owner in order to share every details regarding the project. So basically what we were saying, you remember, I think in the earlier question when somebody asked, can we have the same person in different roles as a scrum master and product owner? And I was answering stating, it's not practically possible because they have different set of responsibilities. So now one of the responsibilities of both these parties, like stakeholder and product owner, is that there has to be a healthy and continuous communication. Okay, so now in this case your stakeholder can be a third party company whose resources we are using, or some other company from whom we are taking servers and laptops and softwares and stuff like that. And then as per our project requirement we would need some further more servers, and if that company does not have them at that moment, just a hypothetical example, so that communication has to reach to us, then we as a product owner or we as a team will have to look for the infrastructure or the machinery from somewhere else. Or if your stakeholder is a senior management person, like a managing director or CFO or CTO, chief technology officer, or anybody of that higher level, and they have some understanding or vision of the project, they'll come and tell you that, okay, I think we are not going in this direction, we should be more focused on delivery. Or if we are doing something good and he or she wants us to add something to it. So all these things are very important. So that's why it's mentioned that as a stakeholder, you should be in a healthy, a positive relationship with the product owner and share every detail regarding the project. So if you, as a managing, director, or as a senior, you want to add something, you should share. As a third party vendor, as anybody from outside of the organization who is interested in your project should be in communication. So next point, please, somebody else. Yeah.
The stakeholder is responsible for conveying his wishes and concerns to the product owner, or else the product owner will not be responsible for his project quality and time duration.
Absolutely right. Now, customer being one of the stakeholders, they should definitely share their, I would say, responsibilities, share their expectations. Like, for example, assuming, within the timeline, you were asking for some additional requirement, or there is some small tweak or small change in the delivery pattern, or it can be anything. It can be as minor as something they want to change the color or the font of your website, or it can be as big as, they want to have some additional functionality. Whatever the change is, doesn't matter small or big, it has to be communicated. You remember in the earlier question where I was saying that, okay, what are the BA's responsibility? If there is any change, then BA would come back to Scrum team, development team, and also talk to product owner. So trust me, product owner has a 360-degree view of the entire project. Nothing goes unnoticed from him or her, and they are aware of all the changes because they are the one who are managing the product backlog. So here it is rightly mentioned that if there is any wishes or any concern or any changes, anything regarding the project, that has to reach to the product owner. Otherwise, see, if the product owner is not aware of that change or that requirement, it will not be a part of your product backlog. And when something is not a part of your product backlog, it simply doesn't exist for the project. It means it is not there in the project. So you want to have your requirement, want to have your change. So it's the best thing is to communicate with the product owner. Yeah, someone was saying something. Is it?
Yeah, I was about to ask that the customer should contact BA to have any changes, or they contact product owner, because the
Okay.
BA.
Yeah. So very good question, but that's again depends on the project setup and on the communication, I would say, pattern. Honestly, BAs are the people who interact with them more frequently. Product owner being on a senior side and being on a tighter schedule, they might have some set meetings, but customer, depending on their comfort level, they can communicate with anyone. Generally, it is the BA who is the first point of contact, because before going to product owner, we have to understand whatever the customer is saying is technically feasible. Development team might work on it. So generally, the route is via BA, development team, Scrum Master, and product owner. But then what happens in reality many a times, if there are any set meetings with product owner or with the team members, and in the discussion, if some pointer comes up, they can easily just share it across. Okay. So it's a very smooth discussion, doesn't matter. But generally it's via BA, because then you get to understand the background behind it. Is it doable or not? Because ultimately, even if it comes to product owner, if that is technically complex or challenging, he or she will definitely consult the development team and Scrum Master. Okay, so it's always a team effort. I think earlier mentioned, it's never a one man or one person show. It's always a collective effort. You have to consider everybody's. It never happens that product owner will say yes, and then down the line, development team might say it's not feasible, it's not doable, it's or maybe it would take this much time. So it's better the consensus or the agreement of every team member is taken. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, welcome. The third point, please.
The stakeholder has to provide regular input to queries from the product owner.
Yes. So it's not the case that only customer or senior management or internal team members, or even anybody coming in and just asking queries or asking for doubts or giving inputs. It's basically a two-way communication channel. Okay. If you have had any query for the product owner, and product owner answers you that or gives a feedback on that, you also have to give a return feedback and close the loop. Okay, because understand, product owner is a very senior role. They are really tied up with many things, so you just can't keep them hanging. You have to ensure that whatever communication you have, you close that loop. Okay, so it simply says that you have to give regular inputs. So even as a product owner, see, like for example, taking the earlier example where I mentioned that being outside a company, you wanted to buy some I would say servers, and that company did not have them that time. So the product owner might have inquired that, can you get it on lease from someone else, or can you give us some other servers in this price, or any inquiry or any investigation the product owner might have done, and that answer he or she is expecting. So as a third party or infra, see, HP, Dell, any company that deals with per se computers, laptops, or servers, they have to come back to product owner and answer to him or her. Like, yes, sir, yes, Mr. whatever PO, product owner, we do have it. We can manage it from other vendors of ours, or we can manage from our some backup devices, or we can't manage, or we can manage, but there will be additional cost. Anything and everything. See, we always mention for this BA role, communication is the key. So tomorrow when you work in Agile, you will realize that whatever happens, good, bad, delay, on time delivery, anything, you have to communicate that with everyone. So this point is very important from product owner point of view, where it says that whatever queries even they ask, they have to get a regular input or regular response on that. Right? Makes sense? Okay,
Yes.
let me give you a very simple example. It's like, if you have a kid or niece or nephew, okay, and you keep asking them, how was the exam? Are you studying well? And you keep asking them 10 questions. But then when they come back and ask you, is the food ready? Are we going out this weekend? Are you going to give me those colors you promised? Do you answer them or not? I think for your own sanity, you do, right? Because they'll go crazy if you don't. So now imagine you are a product owner and they are a third party stakeholder. So it's not always that you will question them. You will also get questions asked, right? So in that authority or position, you also have to answer them back. And you have to get regular inputs also from them. It's both the ways, okay? So next point, fourth point, please.
To do to ensure his project development.
Okay, so this point is more specifically with development team and customer. So, I think you have seen that backlog board is like, imagine a whiteboard and there are pointers written from 1 to 10, 1 being the top priority and 10 being the lowest priority. So what happens if a customer does not give the priority, he gives only 10 requirements and we want it to be done, then definitely, see, this doesn't happen, I'm just telling you. So development team will take them as per their convenience, but then generally it is not accepted or approved. A customer has to come up and give the priority, stating these functionality, or for example, they want to have this website developed first, and then once the website development is completed, then we can go back to the app development on for mobile or Androids or iPhones, right? So what is the priority? We get this generally question asked, what is the priority in your life, or what is your current priority or high priority? So that plays a very important role everywhere. So as a third party, it can be a customer, it can be a development team. Mostly this point is related to customers because we are delivering to them, so we have to know their priority. So basically, a customer has to provide the priority to the product owner. Yeah. Next point.
Keep taking updates or keep giving updates regarding any change in the plans.
Yeah, sorry. Keep taking updates or this also makes a lot of sense, right? If there are any changes, any updates in your project, in the work culture, in anything, you have to communicate that to the product owner. There's nothing that goes without his involvement, because see, always visualize that product owner has the authority to work on the product backlog. He or she is the only person who touches the product backlog. So it's better that they know what is happening in the project. Make sense? Yes? Yes, no, okay.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, thank you so much. Gaurav, can we go to next slide, please? Yes. So here, if you see whatever Scrum events we had discussed earlier or mentioned at least earlier, they are shown in a pictorial or easy to understand format. I want different people to read those pointers, like starting with release planning, product backlog, and then one by one from left to right. Yeah, go ahead.
Release planning and the release planning product.
Next point. Thank you.
Product backlog.
Sprint planning.
Sprint backlog.
Release Scrum.
1 to 4 weeks, and sprint review.
Sprint retrospective.
Potentially shippable product increment.
Yes. So here, do you see the flow from left to right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. As in, what I'm trying to explain is, we have a product backlog, which is like a bigger repository. Can you see? It's very big. It's like a 10-story building, kind of. Bigger in scope. Then we come to and that is, by the way, discussed in release planning meeting. Okay, that's the first planning meeting we have. Sorry. Right now, I'll not go too much in detail because of the time schedule. I'll just tell you the flow, because we will be taking all these events in super detail in coming session. Okay. So how to read this diagram? And by the way, please take a picture of this diagram, or along with picture, if you could draw this diagram in your notes, it will be very helpful, because when you go for the interview, just look at this diagram and you will get an idea what you have to speak about. Okay, so you don't have to shuffle through the YouTube videos or something like that. Take a picture and keep it in a different folder on your phone, so you know that you have to look at this before going for any interview. So in the release meeting, you prioritize, update the product backlog that is done by product owner. Then from that product backlog comes the sprint backlog. Like product backlog is like for the entire project, like it might be for a year or 6 months, depending on customer, updates or customer requests. Then comes the sprint backlog. That is a part of sprint planning. So imagine if you have a 6 month project and there are say 12 sprints, assuming 2 week sprint. So for this product backlog is for 6 months, whereas the sprint backlog is for 2 weeks, 14 days or 15 days. So in that we take a chunk from that product backlog and then we go ahead. And how do we go ahead? The sprint backlog is mentioned 1 or 4 weeks. So it can be either 1 week till 4 weeks, any duration that that your project has decided. For our understanding, we have decided 2 weeks. Okay. In that 1 to 4 weeks, that semicircle is bigger, and then you have daily scrum, those dot. So in that week, in that 2 weeks period, you have daily scrum meeting every day. That is what it shows. And in meeting in those weeks, entire development, entire work happens. That has not been mentioned, but it is understood. And after that, there is a sprint review with the customer, showcasing them, presenting them the work that we have done. And and what we showcase them, potentially shippable product increment. That means whatever work we have done, that will be approved by the customer, that would be completed. So potentially shippable means it has a potential to be completed and delivered as per the acceptance. And after that, you have the last but not the least event, that is sprint retrospective. And I think yesterday we had given enough detail about that. So in sprint retrospective, as a team, we come together and we discuss that, okay, we did this part good, technically we handled very nicely, but we have to be more focused on this part, things like that. So do you just got a brief idea how these Scrum events look? Don't worry, we have dedicated sessions for every event, how that is handled, who manages, what happens. This is just a bird's eye view, or rather it's a typical notes page for you that you should take a picture and keep it with you for your reference. Okay?
Yeah.
Makes sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Gaurav, should we take a halt at this time? It's almost time. Let me know.
Yes, Prerna. So we can really take a pause right now. So I hope it was a good one. And yes, I just wanted to say that one thing you must remember when you are going to become future business analyst, subject matter expert is the one where you can think of becoming the expert in the subject. Okay, so that one thing which I just recalled based on the previous question. So yes, so who all were for the first time? Who was for the first time? I remember Raksha. Who else? Can you raise your hand? It was your day one. Raksha, who else? Raksha, Priya, and Shri, I guess. It was who else? So there were 4 people. Shri. So okay, 3 people. So yes, Priya, you can unmute yourself and you can tell me that it was your day one. How did you feel? Was it okay for you to understand?
Yes, Gaurav, it was kind of informative for me, and I'm looking forward to my next classes, next
Awesome,
sessions.
awesome,
Yes.
awesome. Thank you. And Raksha, what about you?
Yes, it was very informative session from the perspective of Scrum Master or PO or BA. But
Okay,
I have
and
already
you were
worked
able
as a
to understand.
developer. Yes, I've worked on the other side, but it's the different side of a coin that is helping me understand right now.
Amazing. And Sri, what about you? What do you have to say?
Yeah, and I've read through some of the previous videos. Now I have an in-depth understanding of what happened. I mean, the communication or the dialogue or the link between the product owner, the Scrum Master, and the Scrum team. So now I understand the whole concept.
It means that it was also for you easy to understand. That's right, Sri?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Thank you so much. So everyone, I want you now to do is that go to WhatsApp and write down one word that you feel like saying that will let us understand the temperature of your understanding and how easily we need to continue to tweak to let you understand everything, entire concept, so that you experience as if it is going to be live, and it will help you to once you start working live. So kindly go ahead, open WhatsApp group and write down 1 or 2 statement or sentence or words, whatever you are comfortable with, and let us know your understanding temperature. Okay, so
Oh,
we
sir,
are going
we
to.
already did it. We are very
Okay, thank you
smart
so
students.
much. Yes, you are, no doubt about it. Thank you so much. So yes, we are again on tomorrow. That is 9:30 p.m. EST. From next week, there will be slight change, not in the timing, but days. We will definitely going to tell you. Thank you so much, being awesome, and looking forward to meet you again. And keep posting your summary videos. I'm going to really love them, and sooner you will find them on your on Guru School's YouTube channel. Okay, you are doing really phenomenally well, and kudos to your certification who have won the certification. Congratulations to all of you. Thank you so much. Bye bye. Talk to you soon. Good night, everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Good
Thank
night.
you,
Bye-bye.
sir.
Thank you.
Good night.